What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another J-drama soundtrack reaction, and this is another tune from the soundtrack to Future Diary, Another World, a fantastic and sweet show from 2012, starring two of my favorite J-drama actors, which is to say the actress Goriki Ayame and Okada Masaki. And it's a show which combines sci-fi and action and romance to great effect, which I've probably mentioned in the previous 4 or 5 reactions I've done from the soundtrack, though I haven't been back to it in a while. In any case, the soundtrack is composed by Fukuhiro Shuichiro, and we're going to listen to a tune that translates to Growing Feelings, and I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say this tune is used in relation to arguably the main storyline, certainly one of the main storylines in particular, and without revealing crucial details, I'll just say you learn more about this storyline as the show goes along, which I guess is true of most storylines in drama, but in this case it really is a bit opaque for a lot of the show, like maybe 60-70% of the show, and then suddenly you're given a lot more information about it, and this tune is used to great effect when that happens, when you finally get to see behind the curtain, if you will, and it is really beautiful and sweet, so let's give it a listen. This is by series composer Fukuhiro Shuichiro, and it is a track that translates, as I said, to Growing Feelings from the 2012 J-drama Future Diary, Another World. absolutely beautiful, as is the show and as is the storyline this most directly relates to. Indeed, I think it's one of the tracks that is used pretty much exclusively for this one storyline. In any case, yes, I won't spoil too much, but it is, I think, perfectly executed. The sense of growing feelings comes across with the light piano version of the melody, then the strings come in to sweeten it, and the way the strings and the piano interact I think is fantastic. Then the woodwinds, maybe plural, come in. At first it was like, oh, this section, I think it's a flute. And then the more it went on, I was like, oh, maybe it's an oboe? Maybe there's both there, but definitely like wind-based instruments then take the lead, even though you can still hear strings. And then as it gets into the latter stages, the piano and the strings continue, and then it begins to break down and get more subtle in the end. But it's like the growth of the feelings and the sweet beauty of the tune really does express itself in the chronology, in the sequencing of the arrangement and the different sections. So very well done by Mr. Fukuhiro. I'm assuming, actually I don't know that. I don't know if it's a male. I think Shuichiro is a male name, but I should be cautious. In fact, I suppose I could look it up. But yes, the composition here I think is excellent. So yes. Now, I'm finding all of this person's compositions no problem, but no one seems to be indicating exactly. Yeah, I'm just going to assume that this is a male composer. Okay, it definitely is. Alright, one of the sites has a picture. It is definitely a male. He was born in 1987 in Shibuya, which is part of Tokyo. So there you go. But yes, I think the composition here is fantastic, and yes, it's very beautiful. If you know the show, shout out to Michaela, you will know that this particular storyline and the way this track represents it is just very, very well done. So, in any case, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.